It's time for another episode of Rotten Mournings.
The best way to start your mornings off rotten.
Hi.
Hello.
Guys, welcome to another episode of Rotten Mournings podcast.
Welcome.
I'm Scott.
I'm Matt.
I'm Graham.
And Brandy and Daniel are here. They're Daniel's somewhere and Brandy will be back in a sec.
Okay. So we got a whole gaggle of people here.
Yeah, soon will.
Fantastic. Well, you want to just go ahead and dive right in?
Yeah, let's dive right in.
Dive right on in.
What did we see today?
Well, we had a pretty good podcast yesterday.
Yeah, it was great.
I liked it.
Rather enjoyable.
What did we talk about? I don't fucking know. I don't watch these things.
The Tooth Fairy. We talked about the Tooth Fairy.
No, we talked about the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did we talk about the part where the Tooth Fairy? Nope, just blanking.
Yeah. When the Tooth Fairy sexually assaulted you in the restrooms. Yeah, we talked about that.
My God. Poor little Scotty boy.
It's a joke that always gets old.
It always gets old.
Okay, so we did have the episode of the podcast, and then we had, Ravage Power Hour.
Yes. Wait, do we have some? Yeah, I think that was the first thing. Yeah, Ravage. Yes.
Yep, and another roller coaster.
Yes, another roller coaster.
What's that?
I said yes, another roller coaster.
Roller coaster. Woo! That was fun.
Is that the last episode of those?
Yes, that will be the last episode of those.
Oh man, we are wrapping up seasons and coming to the end of these series. I mean, it's a very special time around here.
It is.
Yeah, wild. Look at the thing that we made and then came to fruition and then finished.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Well, technically, we only kind of worked on it. We didn't actually make it so much.
Yeah, and when you say we, it was more you.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. And nothing. Yeah. I offered a word of encouragement at some point, probably.
Yeah, I distinctly remember something like that happening, possibly.
Totally made that up.
Podcast.
Okay. Well, now everyone in the tri-state area knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably are traumatized because they probably heard you screaming that last night.
Correct.
Yeah. And for some reason, when I said it that way, it made it weird.
Yeah.
Who was that?
That's Urza.
Poor Urza wants to be
Only
on
had
the
one
podcast.
dog.
Why was Urza's bark so deep? Oh, I thought it was Daniel.
Daniel's in there.
I don't know.
Hi, Daniel. What you doing?
Hi, Daniel.
I yelled out that it's podcast time.
Podcast!
And great.
Boy, don't have to see my face. So after that, we had Making Up a Stepsister episode 4.
You know what's fun about that series? Is that the last one of that?
Say again?
Is that the last of that series?
That is the last of that series. It is.
Wow, a series finale. Or season finale, anyway.
Season finale.
What's neat about that is Jess has no idea what that's going to look like.
No, she did not have any idea what that was going to look like.
Trash fun. Oh man, so many good things this October.
Then we had, after that, we had the newest episode of Rotten Strips. 27, almost there.
Almost there.
Man,
4 more episodes.
4 more episodes.
What'd you think about that last episode?
It was awesome.
You're
Yeah, I think it was awesome.
a piece of shit.
Yeah, Scott's a piece of shit.
Scott's a piece of shit.
Scott's a piece of shit.
Scott sucks penis.
He sucks penis.
Cool.
From penile dysfunction.
I'm glad you guys all got your gentle jabs in.
Cheers, Scott.
Hold on, we're not there yet. We were talking about what we saw and what we will see.
Oh, good.
At the Atrox.
We also did a live going to Atrox last night.
Yeah.
I'm a bug.
I got to see some of that live. And like, we talk about that a lot. Atrox is our local museum style haunt. It's the only one that's
Style. Don't know why that place isn't just open year round, like charging people to walk through by themselves without actors.
yeah. Suggestion for them. So, but we don't have anything else that is like that,
That's true. I mean, there's a lot of their scenery is over the top, man.
She can do the face too.
It is. Grim, had you been there before?
Been where? I missed.
Trox.
That's fine. That's fine. We're doing a podcast. Hey, Daniel, what'd you think about the haunt?
I was talking, Scott. Let me finish.
I thought it was
Okay, Daniel. I've been to Scott.
Idiots.
Cool. So what do we have after that?
Oh God, I don't know. We did another one. I don't know.
What are we talking
Is it my
about?
turn now?
Yeah, Daniel, what did you think about
Yeah, Daniel,
Atrox?
what do you think?
Pretty much what they're talking about with the animatronics and stuff. I mean, I would love to see more speaking roles in haunts, like actual actors and shit, not just I mean, that's great and all for filler, but aesthetically, the place was amazing. I love the alien room the best.
Man,
Oh,
they got
the
this new
alien room
alien
was
room. It's
badass.
fucking, man, it is so badass.
I love that room.
They had a
Nice.
still walker on there that was done up like a vampire.
Like a vampire
from,
bat.
Yeah, from like Bram Stoker's, the way he looked when he was half vampire bat.
Almost like the man bat from Batman.
Yeah, it did look like Man Bat from Batman.
Yeah.
Well, that
Overall,
sounds cool.
it felt like a amusement park almost,
Wow.
and it was too corporate, in my opinion. All the
Well-
rules posted everywhere, which I know is liability and blah 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 and shit.
Well, I mean, there like it's just a different haunt than some of our haunts that we're at more regularly. And it is, it's its own thing, and I've always been I've always liked that it was its own thing. But yeah, there's
I still think everyone should go to that haunt. I mean, it's an amazing haunt.
yeah.
You're not gonna see scenes like that in any other haunt around here.
No, dude, seriously. Movie, like you're walking into a movie scene almost.
It is definitely like movie scenes. Like their sets are completely from top to bottom finished looks.
Yeah, I think that I was trying to think if there's anything that's like that, but like we have a lot of haunts that we go to that will have a room that is a complete and perfect thing, and this one is I think they've tried to do every single room and
But
it's
their
more complete.
alien section was so fucking amazing. Like it's like you walked into a completely different place.
I love the furnace setup too. Where
Yeah.
you walk in and there's all the water dripping on you, and
Yeah, that was really cool.
I didn't expect that.
They had water dripping on you.
Yeah,
Yes.
and actually lots of places.
Oh well, they had a leak. That's not supposed to happen.
They had like
Well,
what looked
damn.
like a cannibal room and a mad laboratory type room.
And all those rooms were good, and they were all sussed out. But man, I tell you what, that
Yeah,
alien section was fucking amazing.
What was
It's like a
the
mixture between Dead Space
Yeah.
and The Thing.
Yeah, it
the
was
tunnel
100%.
with the
Yeah, with the lights.
What was that from?
That
You
was-
said
It reminded me of a Disney movie called The Black Hole because it was like heavy on their reds and it had those kind of streaming laser lights at one point. But like part of it reminded me of Disney's The Black Hole.
I'd never seen anything like it.
I just did a quick little web search for the black hole, and I'm traumatized.
Is it anything like Blue Waffle?
I gotta see.
No.
Black Hole.
I don't remember Disney's Blue Waffle, but I'll look that up here shortly.
Disney's Blue
Oh
Waffle.
my
Yes,
God.
look up Disney's Blue Waffle.
They still have that web search.
I'm sure.
I'm sure you can find it.
Yeah,
Oh my God!
it looks like it was a silly symphony.
Blue exploded hot
Silly
pocket.
Symphony.
Cool. So it sounds like you guys had a great night.
It would have been better if
It
you
was.
were
It
there.
was super fun.
I do wish there was more actors as well, instead of
Yes.
just animatronics. But it was good. What they had was really good.
Well, I'll say this about actors at haunts on a Wednesday night. It's
Yeah,
hard
on
to
a
get.
Wednesday night,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay.
But
I
let's
give it-
let's say this though. The 7:00 tickets were already sold out. We had to get 7:30 tickets. So I mean, they're
They
selling out.
They're
So
doing great.
Yeah, I mean but that's not
Bing,
like
bang.
that's not going to change that. Like it's hard to get actors on a Friday night. Wednesday
Yeah.
night is a
Their
different one.
midway kind of set up like a little mini con. Like they had like actors from movies and stuff. I guess that show up every once in a while.
Yeah, Kane Hodder has been out there several times.
Really?
Yeah.
I would go to that one.
Oh, really?
I would.
well, you did.
No, if Kane Hodder was there.
Well, yeah. Well,
I'd go out my way to.
Did you
Kane
guys
Hodder.
not see him? He was there.
oh, he was there. We missed him.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see
No,
anybody
there was
sitting
no
there.
actors.
There was
Oh,
nobody
boo.
there but a sign.
It's a shame that you went there. And,
Adrian Barbosa
Strangers
with Candy.
Pray something or other.
Strangers with Candy.
Stranger Stalk at Night or
Hey,
something.
speaking of that, doesn't Nightmare have some people that's going to be there this weekend?
Yeah, they actually had Ari something another.
Ari Lehman.
That
Yeah, I know they had Ari, but and he's going to be playing this weekend or something, right?
he played on last night.
Oh, okay.
Who did I say?
I was thinking somebody from like Sleepaway Camp or somebody was going to be there this weekend.
Maybe I know they had another guest. I don't remember what it was.
That's cool. And then they had like
Otter.
what was the big like 6 metal bands? Was that last night?
That's on. See, you're getting this mixed up. What you're saying was this weekend was last night. What you're saying was the 6 metal bands is this weekend.
Podcast.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Anyway, there's really fun stuff coming up. Cool. Well, that sounds like a really good time. I'm glad that Grim and Daniel got to see a haunt that they haven't seen before and get to see Alabama's, kind of signature museum haunt. We talk about this all the time, how haunts fall into different categories, and like that's definitely in a class of its own. And I think there's several like that are just kind of unique things,
It was.
It
You're right.
was unique.
Cool. Did y'all do anything else there?
Daniel peed.
Daniel peed there.
Okay.
I got scared, so scared for the animatronics.
How was the bathrooms, by the way? Didn't you say something? I can't remember.
Yes, it was a porta-john with no light.
No light in
No
there?
light in the porta-john.
Well, that sucks.
You went to the Pooh Village.
Yes, the Pooh Village.
Hey, Matt, because you've been there before, I kind of wanted to ask you: did they have there was at once upon a time there was a giant open space, and there was a house built in that open space.
That's still there.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
Honestly, like they've got a fence up there, and that's one of the times that like I actually got a little terrified because they had an animatronic that sits on a rocking chair on the porch.
Is that when you jump?
Yes. And the thing like sits up like a regular moving animatronic, but then it had a piston that shot it forward and rammed right into the fence like a good 10 feet away. And it like kind of terrified me. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
It had like the scissor framing on the back.
Yeah.
What do you call something like
an accordion style where it was like Rick, like the old boxing glove.
It was like
gun.
what?
Rick.
Horic is what you said.
Some of the actors had those things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it actually is really cool because it was like literally slamming into the fence, like wham, wham. It was pretty cool.
And so the other thing that so my like favorite memories of Aatrox, I know we're talking about Aatrox when we're not supposed to be, but like that room always stood out, and that was also the first haunt where an 18-wheeler slammed into a chain link fence and got me.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever saw that, and they had like a big zombie that was driving it, and it was unexpected, and the horn and the lights, and it was a great scare.
Yeah, that one, I think the first time I saw that was back in the slaughterhouse in Tennessee back in the 90s.
Oh, hell yeah. Cool. All right, so let's talk about what's coming up today, because, you know, we've killed enough time.
Yep. Today we have, I just uploaded the behind the scenes.
Tommy Voorhees show.
Yeah.
Will be discontinued.
We've got a behind the scenes. I know that.
We've got an episode of the podcast.
Yep. I've got another review. It's from Haunts for Heroes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I might have another review from Insanitarium, maybe.
Okay.
But I'm working on that stuff now, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, be prepared to take a shot.
Oh no, I'm good. You're the one that keeps fucking it up now. I'm killing it.
Yeah, you are.
I am.
It's dead.
Oh dear.
Okay. Oh dear.
And then we may have an episode of strips. Is there a darker stories?
Oh my god. I mean, there should be.
I don't even know what day. Oh, it's Wednesday. It's Thursday. What day is it?
Thursday.
Friday.
I'm hoping that today is my last day out of state. But I don't know. But hopefully. Which will seriously impact the strip schedule. But we'll see what happens. Cool. So it sounds like we got some stuff coming up today. We had some cool stuff yesterday. Guys, this is what are we on? What's today? The 28th?
The 28th.
Holy crap, dude. We got 4 more days.
I know, right?
4 more episodes of this.
4 more things to
do. Halloween.
Wait, it's the 28th. So we've got the 29th, the 30th, and 31st. We only have 3 more episodes of the podcast.
4. No, wait, you're right, because it would be Friday,
wow.
Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, 4 more episodes.
We're extending this.
We're not.
Yes, we are.
Well, anyway, guys, hopefully you guys look for our spinoff, the Tommy Show.
Morning Tommies.
Yeah.
A lot of sound effects.
It's just sound effects. It's like beep bop. Scott is doing wiener suck.
He's doing wiener suck. What?
It's just whatever. It doesn't matter.
It'll be a lot like sound effects, like that wind sound effect that's like bow bow bow.
Oh yeah, that's cool. And then like the sound of like breaking bones.
Bow bow bow.
That was disgusting.
We don't have to entertain. We don't owe you guys entertainment. We
Bow,
do this
bow,
for us.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. Anyways,
Cool. I guess we need to take a break and
we got to take a break. Bow, bow, bow.
yeah. So, just a quick 5-minute review of Hellbilly Hollow.
Now, Hellbilly Hollow has completely changed their haunt this year. It has been redesigned as a prison setup, and I think what they have done to the flow of the house, the colors from room to room, the size of the rooms, that they've kind of changed the perspective of everything, that it's probably single-handedly one of the most fun. It feels like a fun house, and it is the most fun one of the haunts I've been into.
That's awesome. So if you've been to Hellbilly Hollow before, in years past, you're going to get a different experience this time.
A very different experience. And they have, I would easily say, some of the best actors in the business right now.
Yeah. Hellbilly Hollow has multiple attractions there as well.
They do. The house is just one of them. They also have the cornfield, which is super, super fun. I'm not the biggest fan of just like cornfields alone. But again, like the jokes in there, as well as the scares, the fact that, you know, you've got like armed guards watching you, and you feel like you're sneaking away from prison. Like it all feels very thematic to what's going on.
So it sticks with the storyline.
Yeah.
That's awesome. They also have a hayride.
They do. And the hayride, it's not as much to the storyline. They've kind of got scenes set up there in different areas. And I don't know. I think like there's still a little bit of gelling that needs to be done. But I think that like it is so cool when you like pull up and it's like, boom, there's this great scene with just craziness. And then there's these people that are doing like kind of lines. And then there's people jumping on the trailer. It's got all your tropes of a good trail ride, basically.
That's awesome. So this is in Vincent, Alabama.
Yes, in Vincent, Alabama, run by a one-eyed pirate by the name of Tim Miller. He's missing a foot, too.
Arr. He's missing a foot and an eye.
Yes, he's like basically a pirate, but he sells cheese, not seas. Pirates sell seas. Tim sells cheese.
That's fair. So while you're out at Hellbilly Hollow, they've got food, so they got concessions.
They have occasionally they'll have the band boosters out there. That's normally on Saturday nights, and they do like funnel cakes and Oreos. But they'll normally have a food truck nightly that does different foods, and they swap out throughout the season. They also have a dunking booth, but I'm not sure they're putting it to use as it gets colder outside.
That's awesome. That's the dunk tank there, and the tank at the other haunt. That's 2 tanks in haunts this year. That's awesome.
Yep.
So you can buy tickets there.
Yes, you have to buy tickets on site. You can use a credit card or cash. They don't have any online ticket sales as of right yet. But most of the stuff out there is easily accessible with card or cash. And a lot of the haunts, you have to go to, you have to have cash on you. Even with Aatrox, we ran into that problem.
Do you have to pay for parking?
No, we did not have to pay for parking, and there is ample parking.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. So it sounds like if you've been to Hellbilly Hollow in the past, you know that they put on just a great haunt every year. And this year, with the change to the prison theme, there's just a whole new experience that's just a lot of fun for everybody.
Also, when you talk about Hellbilly Hollow, you can't help but give a shout out to Single Tree Lane that does all their fabrication and does a ton of their mask and just does amazing original work. Like you're going to see stuff in Hellbilly Hollow that does not exist anywhere else because of her fabrication and because of her like amazing mask making skills.
Yeah, and we're actually ROTN is going to be at Hellbilly Hollow coming up.
Yes, we will be there on Saturday night this weekend.
Yeah, guys. So if you haven't been, or if you just want to come and go through it again and hang out with the ROTN crew, we're there Saturday night.
That's right, guys. Saturday night, Hellbilly Hollow, Vincent, Alabama. Come take the drive. It is worth the drive. I didn't have something cliche to say there.
How much is the tickets?
$25 for all 3 attractions unless the DCC are there, and then it's like $1.
That's awesome. Yeah, and here's another 5-minute review of the Terrortorium.
That's right, the Terrortorium in Oxford, Alabama. They put on such an amazing show, like right off the bat. When you pull up there, it looks like a carnival. It looks like you have pulled into a fair, basically. You smell funnel cake, you smell food cooking, you hear like these machines going, and you hear screams. Like just pulling up in the parking lot is an experience unto itself.
Yeah, pulling up into the parking lot, you see a giant merry-go-round that's like
Ferris wheel. Why do you keep calling us merry-go-round?
Yep, it is a Ferris wheel. So they have carnival games. They have carnival rides.
Carnival rides. They have a bullet there this year, which I have not gone on, nor do I plan to.
Well, it looks terrifying, and everyone who rode it looked like they had a blast.
Yes, they look like they passed out.
Certainly,
but it looks terrifying. If you want to do something that is quite possibly terrifying, go ride the bullet at Terrortorium. So that's the outside. Now, the inside of the Terrortorium is just a charm. The first thing, which is the dark ride, was actually taken from, if I'm not mistaken, Coney Island. Say that again. Miracle City Beach, and was restored here in Alabama at the Terrortorium. And it is a classic dark ride.
It is that, and it has that, like, it's so nice because it has that beach dark ride feel. That boardwalk feel. Yeah.
And it's just that's so much fun being able to go on a dark ride in Alabama, because I don't know personally. I mean, I'm sure there's a few more. Almost the museum you drive through is a dark ride, but not anything like mechanized like haunts here in the States. Yeah, so that's awesome.
Dark rides have kind of been relegated to just the one trailer dark rides that you'll find at like fairs, state fairs.
Yes. Yep.
This is a full
cool. But then you go over to the other side, which is the house, and it is like, again, their sets are so cool. They have such iconic sets that I love. I really love the pit room. I love the way the floors move, like old school fun houses. There's just so much old school fun house feel to the way that haunt moves as well.
Yeah, we talk a lot about haunts and how there's different kind of haunts. This is the vintage haunt. This is that great like 50s, 60s kind of haunt. You walk into that haunted house through a giant coffin-shaped door.
Yep.
There's a lot to really enjoy inside the haunt, and every time that we go, it seems like the actors there are having an absolute blast.
Yes, it does. Though that place always reminds me of movies like Ghoulies 2, one of the Critters, what's the name of it? Funhouse, dude. It's so reminiscent of those old 80s movies.
Yeah. I could see definitely where you would make that connection. Now, outside, there's also some sort of tour.
Yes, they have the carriage tour, which apparently they take you through like paranormal things all through Oxford, which apparently has a rich history of paranormal.
That sounds like an experience that you're not going to get at any other haunt.
Yeah, I agree. It's quite fun ghost tours, man.
So, guys, this is a great vintage style haunt, a beautiful midway. There's a couple of things or several things for people to do. There's photo opportunities.
Yep. It's just a big party out there, it feels like.
It is. It feels like one of the most funs that you can have in Oxford, Alabama.
And I'll tell you what, the guy who runs that place puts his heart into that place. That is like his baby.
Absolutely, and it totally shows. Guys, if you get a chance, go out and check this place out.
Check out the Terrortorium, Oxford, Alabama. And we're shit. You gotta tell me you're doing something. Sorry, and we're back.
That was great.
That's okay.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Brandon did podcast too.
Yes. Cool. Well, I guess we're here in the supernatural section, huh?
Yep, we are. Brandy is here for the supernatural section,
Yeah.
and today we'll be talking about the Wendigo.
Woohoo!
Wendigo, you said.
Wendigo,
What's that?
Wendigo. I've even heard Wendigo.
Are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes. Just you guys keep talking. I'm checking sound.
Are we good?
So I heard some metal, but it's not going to be worse than any other podcast.
Well, yeah, that's true. If you hear some metal,
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit of metal.
Little like that.
Boo, boo, boo.
Okay. So I guess we're talking about the Wendigo.
Wendigo.
Dingoes.
I've always said Wendigo, but I'm sure there's several pronunciations that are wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I have heard this pronounced in several different ways, honestly.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about today. I know that you guys probably were listening to the podcast yesterday, going, "I hope this ends," and expected this today. So you guys are all excited for us to talk about the Wendigo. Wendigo. Just send in pictures to enter the contest, and you can win a dongo.
Okay, no, not ever.
What? Whose dongo would you like to win?
No.
Nobody's.
I don't
Yeah.
know if I want to add a dongo to my collection of things.
So the Wendigo is a mythological creature of evil spirit which originated from the folklore of First Nations based in and around the East Coast forests of Canada, the Great Plains regions of the United States, and the Great Lakes regions of the United States and Canada. Grouped in modern ethnology as speakers of Algonquin, Jesus, blah, 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 blah.
Algonquin family languages.
The Wendigo is often said to be a malevolent spirit, sometimes depicted as a creature with human-like characteristics which possesses human beings. The Wendigo is known to invoke the feelings of insatiable greed or hunger, the desire to cannibalize other humans, as well as the propensity to commit murder in those that fall under its influence.
Yeah, all of those things. So it's kind of changed the Wendigo from like its original like descriptions, because in the original descriptions it was a giant humanoid, which was like a Bigfoot.
Well, in some original descriptions, I wouldn't necessarily say it's changed. It's had different names in many cultures and different stories surrounding it.
Yeah. Wasn't guys, you all may remember, wasn't there a Mila Jovovich film that dealt with the Wendigo? You remember it was like a found footage film, and there was like owls, and it was like spirits were trying to possess them, or I don't even know that she was in it. I think she was just in the like trailers, like, hey, this is a documentary about a weird, strange thing that happened in the snow.
Yeah, maybe that sounds sort of familiar. I mean, there's a lot of movies called Wendigo and the Wendigo.
Yeah. This wasn't that though. This was called something like, I don't even know if it said the Wendigo in its name. It was just an evil spirit, which was kind of the same thing as the Wendigo.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
No
the
idea.
only found footage movie I remember Mila Jovovich being in is the Alien one.
The Fourth Kind?
Nah, is it called The Fourth Kind?
Yeah, and I think that was not. Was that Alien or oh shit? I thought it had to deal with like spirits too.
No, it was aliens. There was like a giant alien ship over her house at one point, and it took her kid.
Okay.
That was when like the interview and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was about like ancient Sumerian something or other. Yeah.
Huh.
They were like her husband or something was like really into ancient Sumerian.
I thought she killed a kid.
Was this in like Nome, Alaska?
Maybe.
Because the one I'm talking about,
of movies mixed up here.
Yeah, I think you're right.
yeah, this one was in Nome, Alaska, and Rotten Tomatoes rates it an 18%.
What's set in Alaska or something?
Huh. Anyway, there's lots of films that have the Wendigo in it. And the one we referenced yesterday was Ravenous.
Yes, Ravenous was all about the idea of the cannibalism leading to becoming a Wendigo or an evil spirit that craves more human flesh.
Yeah, it's kind of the trade-off. So the thing that you're getting is if you eat the flesh of someone else, then you get their strength and their spirit. But that's all like the old adage of the pack with the devil. You're going to get the bad side effect is that like it will drive you crazy because it's actually an evil spirit that's giving you the power.
Yeah.
It's not just a thing that you're doing yourself.
Yeah, I thought the Fourth Con was about aliens.
That's weird. I thought so too.
I mean, it says here there are 4 kinds of alien encounters. The 4th kind is abduction. That's why it's called the 4th kind.
No, I have no problem being wrong.
But I think there was another Wendigo movie, but I don't know if it had anything to do with Mila Jovovich. But this is like a true story of a cover-up.
Oh, is the Wendigo not an alien?
No, it's a creature.
Why would it hand Danny Glover the gun?
Because that's Predator.
That's not true.
That's not true.
It says the Wendigo is part of a traditional belief systems of a number of Algonquian-speaking peoples, including the old the Cree, and the whatever.
The Ojibwe is where the English word Wendigo actually comes from. But there were several different Native American tribes that had different stories for this, and like they were similar in pronunciation and spelling, but they were still very different. Like you have like the source of the English word did really come from the Ojibwe word, which was Wendigo. And in the Cree, it was Wittikau. You've also got Wetico and Wendigo and Wendigo and Wendigo and Wendigo and Wendago and Wendiga. Like there's so many different pronunciations of this. But we have come to term all of them under Wendigo, Wendigo, or Wendigo, depending on how you choose to pronounce it.
Okay. That's fair. Well, off the kind of beaten path here, but was there a Wendigo in Fallout 76?
Yes.
Huh. Interesting.
I actually looked up cryptids from Fallout 76 to make the suggestions I'd made the other night, because Fallout 76 isn't good, but it has a lot of good cryptids for monsters in it, and they're very well like off of the mythos of the cryptids.
So it says here that also the Wendigo was in a story that inspired the character in Pet Sematary.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. It says it's a personification of evil, a ugly grinning creature with yellow-green eyes, ears replaced by ram's horns, white vapor coming from its nostrils, and pointed, decaying yellow tongue.
What in the hell was that in Pet Sematary?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was from the novel that was left out of the movie.
Oh, no. I see what you're saying. There was this one book that used a demonizing rhetoric about the Wendigo, which that in turn inspired some different portrayals in other horror fiction.
Yeah, but what in Pet Sematary? I don't know.
Well, I did find this one description that I found interesting from an actual Ojibwe teacher in Canada. The Wendigo was gaunt to the point of emaciation, its desiccated skin pulled tautly over its bones. With its bones pushing out against its skin, its complexion the ash gray of death, and its eyes pushed back deep into their sockets. The Wendigo looked like a gaunt skeleton recently disinterred from the grave. What lips it had were tattered and bloody. Its body was unclean and suffering from suppurations of the flesh, giving off a strange and eerie odor of decay and decomposition, of death and corruption.
Well, that sounds disgusting. And might I also add, gross.
Yes.
That's fair. So, this is a really neat thing because, like, there's versions of it where it's a thing that you see. There's versions of it where it's like a spirit that just possesses you.
Yeah.
and like it all kind of thing. There's actually, it's talking about there's actual psychological syndrome called the Wendigo psychosis.
Yes.
Oh, fucking shit, man. There's a horror movie that's on Netflix that has like what I personally think is a great rendition of a Wendigo, and it's called The Retreat.
Okay.
And it only kind of shows it toward the end, but it's this kind of like weird looking deer with like human features. I don't know. It's so fucking badass looking. It only shows it for like a very little bit of time, but that movie is a recommend. That's a good movie.
I'll have to check that one out. With the Wendigo psychosis, it's like people are like possessed by the Wendigo, and that's one of the things that lead to cannibalism. We were talking about that with Ravenous, but it got me thinking, like, there's a lot of times where you would have throughout history parties that would go get lost in the woods. Donner Party is a great example of it. Alfred Packer, who we covered in season 1, is a great example of it. But there's always like one guy who is eventually responsible for all of the murders and eats the dead bodies either during the killing or after the killing.
Damn it, it's not The Retreat. Now I don't know what the hell the name of the movie was. It's not The Retreat.
It's not The Fourth Gun.
Is it The Retreat, the one with Kevin?
Wasn't there a movie called Wendigo?
The Retreat's a different film. It's actually about a Wendigo also, but it was this movie where these 4 friends are like going out to this woods where they used to live before, and then there's this cult out there. And
it's like an annual trip or something.
Oh man, I can't remember what it was called. All I remember is at the end of it, there's this giant deer creature that has a human upper torso, like for its mouth, and it eats one of the friends. And like the city is burning around it, and it just walks out and eats it.
I cannot remember the name of it, but it wasn't The Retreat.
Dude, I think that wasn't recent, right?
Yes, very recent on Netflix.
Oh, okay. I was thinking there was something that you had showed me that was like a badass thing like that, but I don't remember what it was.
I was thinking it was at least a year or maybe even 2 old.
But yeah, I think that's a great rendition of it if I could remember the name of it.
Yeah. So, besides the like possessing someone, and besides the visual of it, is there another depiction or is there another form that the Wendigo takes?
The Ritual is what the name of the movie
Yeah,
is.
that was it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Well, okay, so there are some stories that call it just a giant with a heart of ice, sometimes thought to be entirely made of ice. Its body is skeletal and deformed with missing lips and toes. Now, the Ojibwa described it more as a large creature as tall as a tree with a lipless mouth and jagged teeth. Its breath was a strange hiss, its footprints full of blood, and it ate any man, woman, or child who ventured into its territory, and those were the lucky ones. Sometimes the Wendigo chose to possess a person instead, and then the luckless individual became a Wendigo himself, hunting down those he had once loved and feasting upon their flesh.
So, kind of like a werewolf.
Yeah, well, actually, werewolves are some people say that the story of werewolves come from the same root as this thing.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. That's a pretty common thing, because you got to realize that, like, werewolves have similar traits. Like, you're possessed by a thing, right? So,
Right.
and then there's
Something
the
you don't have
cannibalism,
control over.
right? And the cannibalism aspects of it, for sure.
Yep.
And then the other part of the werewolves is that, like, a very common depiction of werewolves is that they're taller than people and, like, hairy and gross.
Yeah, hairy and gross.
Yeah.
Tall. Yeah. Sounds like a bear.
Stop talking about me.
It's disgusting.
We have feelings too.
Yeah, see, like that looks like what this ended up. Look. I'm sorry, keep going, Scott.
Oh, okay. So apparently there's another creature called the Wichuj, which is a similar being that appears in legends on the Northwest Pacific coast, and it too was cannibalistic. However, it was characterized as an enlightened with ancestral insights, so it was more mystical.
So kind of like the different legends you hear of, like, the great forest god, which also goes under several different names.
Yeah.
So it could just be like a mixing of those two stories.
Yeah, or it could be their love child.
Well, yeah, it could be that too.
Butt child.
The love child of the Wendigo and the forest god
is a butt child.
And the butt has an eye for a butt.
Yes.
Wachichu.
I don't think that's what it is. But I don't know. I'm not an expert here. Yeah. Wendigo continues. There's continues to be stories of Wendigo. There's still groups of people who adamantly believe that the Wendigo exist and to be mindful of it. And this story has been around for longer than most stories have been around.
Grim found the sound of what the Wendigo sounds like. You want to hear that?
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if this will work. You hear it?
Yeah. And now I want to drink some tea.
That's funny. I just have now decided that Grim must be a Wendigo.
Ding, tea's done.
Tea's done. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Scott, go.
The tea's done. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Fries are done. Dang, fries are done. Dang, fries are done.
Yeah, what Daniel said.
I work at Burger King, bacon after fries. I love that fucking video. Jesus hadn't seen that in forever.
Jesus hasn't seen it in forever. Why do you know what he's seen?
I mean, I showed it to him, so I hadn't showed it to him in a while.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the Wendigo.
That's fun. I told you we could get some time out of that one.
Yeah, like it's something I've been fascinated with because I've heard so many different tales and representations of it that are all very similar but still have their own differences. And even with the psychosis being developed from it, where, you know, there are many different people that either suffer from the craving of human flesh or are just terrified of the idea of potentially becoming a cannibal.
Yeah. I you know, this is the thing again where like you did a thing, but now you need a thing to blame the thing that you did on.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So I didn't kill them. I was possessed by the Wendigo to kill them.
Yeah. And they say like people that ate human flesh would become a Wendigo, but they're probably already crazy to eat human flesh in the first place. I mean, they're not all crazy. Some of them are really good, upstanding citizens that don't do anything wrong and
Like
possibly
me.
run
Like
a
me.
very successful slash not successful group of actors and performers.
That sounds a little familiar.
It does. Doesn't it?
Hmm.
That kind of hits home.
Come on, scurvy.
Ah!
Yeah. That's
See, I told you she was a Wendigo. Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
Did.
Shut up.
This stays in the trend of we continue to do cryptid podcast and try to disprove that Grimm is in fact that cryptid.
Yeah,
Right.
Most
What
of the
the
time.
fuck?
Pinky.
I don't know. I like after tonight, I'm
That's
leaning
good. I don't wanna
heavily
get sick
towards
with
the
you.
Wendigo side, but before then, I was convinced she was a banshee.
I
Oh.
think I might be a banshee. Oh shit.
Graham is a banshee.
I'm a banshee.
Graham is what
Hey.
having a banshee and a Wendigo had a baby.
Inbred.
It's a Grimm.
Inbred Graham.
There's like that you brought up Banshee, and I want to like say one thing about that just because I saw it in doing some research. There was a cryptid of Florida that was a banshee or a banshee-esque kind of cryptid, but scientists like kept trying to find out what this thing actually was, and it was like been reported for hundreds of years, and then they finally found it, and it was a salamander.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was like a massive salamander, and it would make that screeching sound. Hang on, guys. Just really quickly, I don't want to alarm anyone, but I'm hearing Wendigo sounds in the studio. And
I'm a salamander.
And I'm getting hungry for human flesh. So if we have any taco flavored humans,
I think all humans are taco flavored if you had the right seasoning.
okay, they don't have to specifically be Mexican. Good.
You are a bitch.
So that's the end of that one.
That was the. Cool. Anything
Good podcast.
Guys, Wendigo before we wrap this bitch up.
I think that we've said all we can say about it.
Well, I mean,
I'd like to pitch the next one as well. I'd like to do the will-o-wisp because we've never done that.
Okay.
Have we done that?
No, we haven't done that one. I do have two more. So let's see. Today's the 28th. The 29th we'll do will-o-wisp. The 30th we will do Baba Yaga.
Ooh.
And the 31st we will do 5 minutes on Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, 5 minutes on Skinwalker Ranch. Okay, I'm down.
I watched.
That will be our Halloween episode. Will be the Skinwalkers.
So we can all try to get professional at speed talking.
So we're going to be recording that at 2:00 in the afternoon on Halloween before we go out to haunt.
Well, no, if it airs the 31st morning, it'll have to be recorded.
Oh, so it'll be 2:00 the day before that.
It'll be something.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll guarantee you it won't be good.
I can guarantee it'll be rotten.
That's all that anyone has ever expected from us.
Hope so.
I read this thing earlier that said expectations. That's just
Stay rotten.
disappointment and oh my fucking god.
Stay rotten.
Podcast!
Podcast.
Yes,
You were saying something about disappointment?
expectations are just disappointment in disguise.
Yes. Yeah.
Expression.
I was like, that's deep, and I love it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You love it deep? Are you talking about your butthole?
His ear canal.
I was actually talking about my hand in a Pringles jar, but sure.
Expectations equal disappointment.
You gotta let those Pringles at the bottom of the can go. You get your hand stuck in there.
Yep.
They really do need to fix the Pringles can. You know,
The Pringles can is the same like concept behind an old school coon trap. You know that,
Coon
right?
trap. Old school coon
You know how they
trap.
used to catch coons in Alabama?
Yes.
that was something else back in the day.
Hit him with
Easy.
a bat.
Yeah.
Hit him with a
No,
bat.
they used to have. They would take a block of wood and drill a hole into it, and then they put a nail in the way, and they drop a nut down in there, and to catch the coons will come up and try to grab the food, but they wouldn't want to let the food go, and it couldn't pass past the nail. So the dumbass, the way they caught the coons is they wouldn't let go of the food, and they would get themselves caught.
Can we call them raccoons? I'm just more comfortable with
They're
that.
not raccoons, though. That's not the same thing.
What?
It's Alabama. Everything is abbreviated as short as possible.
No, it's still not. It's not even a raccoon. There's coons and then there's raccoon. That's not the same thing.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my god.
There's a difference in
There's a book called Where the Red Ferns Grow that literally is about that.
It's about raccoon.
No, it's not. He's a coon hunter, not a raccoon hunter.
We're going to have a serious conversation. Let's plan that for 2024.
The fire department.
It'll be during my presidential run. All right, guys. Thank you guys for sticking around for this. You guys stay rotten.
Hey, wait a minute. Where are you going?
Stay rotten.
We already said that.
Get the milk, Scott. Get the milk.
Hey, Scott. Scott.
Okay, Daniel, this is where we're saying to stay rotten, and then I'm ending the podcast.
Let him finish, Scott. Go ahead, Daniel.
Thank you, Grim. Stay rotten.
Stay rotten.
Hey,
Matt, say it. Matt, you have to finish it.
Stay rotten.
Stay rotten.
I miss you.
I miss my
Stay
friends.
rotten.
Join us next time for another episode of Rotten Mournings.